I know. I did my hair today. Wanted to look really
As you can
nice.
see, so did I.
Yeah, yeah. Beautiful. We look great.
Oiled up and ready to go. Brian, this is going to be an absolute pleasure. It's going to be a masterclass in social and influencer, hopefully, but more importantly, marketing as a whole. Um, Give me some background on you. Give me some background on Veed. How did you end up there?
Yeah, yeah. I'll give you a quick little rundown of my experience. So, Brian, I'm the head of social and influencer at Veed, and I've worked my entire career in social. So, I've had the opportunity to work at companies like Microsoft. I've done some agency stuff at Eisenberg, and now I'm in my startup era. I started at Preply, building out the social program there, and now I'm at Veed as the head of social and building out the program here.
Talk to me about your thesis on social. Like we had this great conversation offline. The work you guys do at Veed is incredible. Not only from a internal capacity of showcasing the talent that you have and allowing
Mhm.
your teams to post on LinkedIn, but the work you do outside of that. What are you guys doing a campaign in the New York subway?
Yes, we did a campaign in the New York subway. We wanted to make it creator led because we wanted to put real faces on billboards that people could connect with. And also, there's that creator element where creators within that region, because they were all from New York or near New York, they could come experience that and we can get like an authentic reaction out of them. And we also leverage their communities across social. So we wanted to make it really creator focused because I think that human element gave it that extra little pizzazz that you wouldn't get from just like a static campaign with no humans in it.
What do you think about your thesis for social? What do you like? How do you think about it today? Is it as like a static thing that, a company should just post once? Do you leverage creators in a way that typically the average tech startup wouldn't, or tech company or company wouldn't? Walk me through it.
Yeah, I think I have like 3 points on the thesis of social. So I'll start out with my first one because it'll all tie into like kind of what we do. So the first one here is volume is up on social, right? Like AI, with the introduction of AI, it's made the barrier to creating content super low. So a lot of people are creating content that typically wouldn't, but since the volume's up, the noise is also up. So you have to be really clever with the cut through that you have on social. So that's where things like the New York campaign come into play. That's where things like the clip shop come into play, right? Where we take things that are like tied to just like a typical SaaS product and we turn it into something that's actually cool and has a cut through on social that people want to consume and enjoy. So that's point one. Point two is the role of the internal creator is probably the most important role right now on your social team or on your marketing team, depending on how big it is. In this age of AI, having an internal brand face is even more important because again, builds that human element, builds that trust with your audience, and then also gives you a repeatable face that you can have on uh, on these different social channels. And that also ties back to campaigns like the New York subway and campaigns like the clip shop, right? We have these creator partners that we work with repeatedly because we want to have them associated with the brand, right? Like when you think of Sophie Miller, I want you to think like Sophie Miller, she uses Veed. That's what we're going for. And we want to be able to build that connection with them. And how we do that is repeat partnerships and finding the right partners. And then the last one is brands just need to stop hype jacking and focus on creating original content. I think like you'll see it on LinkedIn, you'll see it across different channels where X brand comments on trending video from here with an inappropriate comment that doesn't make sense for the brand. Like I focus less on that and I focus on how can I build original content and work with different creator partners that are going to push feed forward in a way that feels authentic to us, but then also gives us cut through on social. That's kind of what I'm focusing on, and that's kind of how I built my entire strategy at Veed around.
I really like that second point. Talk to me about how you find the right creator. Like, what does that look like for someone at Vida? It isn't obviously spray and pray for obvious reasons. You kind of cherry picked this family of
Mm-hmm.
creators that really love the brand, that people really understand, and their audience really understands that they don't just provide pass-through value, but they use it in their own workflows, as I understand.
Yes, they do. So I think for us, half of this answer is technical, then the other half is not technical. So we have a technical bit where the creator needs to have a general understanding of how to write a script, how to produce a good piece of content, what good looks like, and they need to have some technical know-how in terms of like how editing works and how to use a camera properly and understanding the importance of lighting. Those are like the technical bits that we look at and that we want the general person to understand. The bits that you can't really measure are like on camera presence. That's super important. I think like I highlight Claire because she was my first hire ever at Feed. She wasn't at the beginning, she wasn't super good at the technical bit, but she had those intangibles that you can't teach. Like you're really good on camera. She has like one of those presence where she enters a room and you know she's there type thing. So these are the types of things that you can't measure, and when you find it, you know. So when I talked to her, I was like, okay, this is it. She has like the vibe that we're going for from the face of like social because she was the first social hire. Can we move forward with her? Can she be the face in 6, 9, 12, 2 years from now? And she had it, and it's obviously paid off because she's still here and she's still creating a ton of content, which is amazing.
How do you look forward 2 years and figure that out? Like, it's a really deep investment in not just an individual to do quote unquote the work,
Yep.
but also be the face of a brand in a way, right? Like, how do you think that long term about, yes, that person is going to be invested with us for that long? Or do you spread your eggs out and just make more eggs when you need?
Yeah, so I think it's a gamble, right? Because like you could hire someone you think they're great and then they end up not being that great. But from our perspective, it's how can we also, from like me being a manager and from the Veed side, provide the best possible experience and the best possible environment for her to grow, one as a creator, and then grow her overall skill set. Those are the two most important things when I bring on a new creator on board. Because I think there's a common misconception with creators in general where you come in, you're going to just start writing scripts and you're going to shoot and that's going to be your job and you're going to go in that dark room and you're going to just do that, when that's not the case at all. Actually, I think personally creating content is the hardest job in the world. Like I now create my own content for like my personal brand, and it's hard. It's very freaking hard to do the entire thing. So for us, it's like we don't know if it's going to pay off in 2 years, but I'm going to do everything I can on my end to make sure they're having a great time, that they want to stick around.
I love the fact that you sip your own champagne, as Becky puts it from 11 Labs. You quite literally do the work yourself. And so you understand how great the product is or where you need to improve it.
Exactly.
That feedback, how do you use that in social? Like you must get overwhelming amounts from the community, from the creators themselves. Do you use that in a way to enhance the social experience of people that consume the brand online and then feed that into product features?
Exactly. Yeah. So like from a product perspective, we do get a lot of feedback and we try our best to address it. And if we see something that's reoccurring, or like we have, okay, a lot of community members are talking about this specific thing, maybe there's a misconception of how the tool works, or maybe we're missing a tool, or maybe it's not doing what it's supposed to be doing, we actually will make a piece of content around it, or we'll create a series around it if it's like a specific pain point. That's one. And then from a creator perspective, we take creator feedback from our creator partners extremely serious, because for us, it's like,
Mhm.
I look at them as like not even as like a transactional, like, hey, we're paying you. It's like, no, we are using you as like a, hey, you're gonna come try the tool. You're gonna give us feedback on it, and we're gonna actionably try and like use our internal sway to see if we can actually improve this specific tool. So we take feedback from our community very serious, but creator partners as well. Like they are like our control group, I guess, for tools.
I love it. Creators are so important today. Do you think of them as top of funnel, or do you think of, and or do you think about them as well building?
Everything. I think it depends, right? I think like from a creator perspective, the best thing you can do, and what we found success in, is every piece of content that creator creates has a job, right? And I think giving a job to a specific piece of content, this applies to the brand side as well, is that's how you don't set yourself up for failure, and you don't like set up leadership, for instance. Like if leadership is like, this didn't drive any signups, it's like, well, because this was an awareness piece and the goal here was to drive as many views as possible, reach as many users as we can, and still tie it back to video in an organic way. When you give creators and content a specific job, you're less disappointed. So to answer your question, full funnel, depending on the piece of content, we'll give it a specific job.
You talk about conversions. Tell me about the clip shot.
Oh, okay, I will. I love the clip shop. It's my favorite ever activation that I've ever done at any job. So
I heard in the
yeah,
grapevine, you guys got the keys to the
we
car
got
and
it.
you went full throttle.
Exactly. We got in, we hit all gas, no brakes, and we just did something. We did something really different. So for us, from the social side, the team was still very small, so we had the opportunity to run the entire activation from start to finish. So from conception to pitching to bringing it to life, and then reporting on it. It was all social's job. And at the time, the social team was, there's only like 4 people. We had our influencer marketing manager who just joined, so relatively small, but we had enough resourcing to make it happen. So just to give a little background on the tool itself before I kind of jump into the idea of the clip shop. So clips is exactly how it sounds. It turns any long video into engaging, short, social ready clips. So really simple, really fast to use. You just upload your long video and we cut it up into social ready clips. But in today's day and age with social and bringing up like how the feeds are really crowded now is you need a really good idea to get cut through on social. Like we could have been like any other SaaS brand and been like, here is clips. This is how it works. Here's your short form video. But instead we were like, you know what? Let's put a creative wrapper around this. We've never done this before. We're a UK based company. What can we do? So we had the idea to take a very classic British fish and chip shop and we had a play on words and we turned it to fish and clips. So what we did is we turned the Veed office into a physical, living, breathing clip shop without any fish or chips or anything, but we had a physical shop in the Veed office. We created signage, we created merch, we had custom branding, we had everything like you can think of. It was really cool. We had like aprons, everything like that. So we set that up, but that still isn't enough, right? Like now think you have this amazing idea, you have limited distribution from the brand side and from like the leadership side. How can you take it one step further? Enter creators, creator partners. They were the key for distribution and getting this in front of everyone. I had faith in the plan, right? I think the idea was really cool, but distro is so important, right? Having the right distro for a piece of content or an idea is almost as important as the idea. So we use 3 creator partners for this. We use Sophie Miller from Pretty Little Marketing, Ashleen from Grad Girl Marketing, and then Grace Andrews from Flight Story. And why we picked them 3 is they were perfect in terms of ICP match. We knew they had super engaged audiences, and we knew that they had secondary audiences from the brands that they've built. So like we have Sophie Miller personal brand, and then we have Pretty Little Marketer brand. We have Ashleen personal brand. We have Grad Girl Marketing brand. So we've kind of extended the reach from 3 creators to 5 because we have those personal brands
Nice.
that we can leverage. And the idea was not to pay them for both, but to pay them for one, and then hopefully our relationship building. And they had such a good time at the clip shop that they would reward us with an additional piece of content. And we did. We got some pieces out of it. So to sum up, we published 10 pieces of content. These creators came and experienced the clip shop. They shot a ton of content, and we were able to generate 115,000 video views, over 3,000 engagements, and we reached over 85,000 users with organic content across LinkedIn and Instagram and TikTok.
That is absolutely incredible. It's almost like you moneyballed a campaign.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, that's what it feels like.
And like ROI on that, was that incredibly good for the brand in terms of long-term brand building as well as the like click-through rates on those pieces of content?
Yep.
Were you actively able to see what drove create or what drove or which creators drove revenue towards the
Yeah.
business?
So from a creator perspective, I don't have the numbers top of mind, but each creator drove, I'm pretty sure like over 100 signups each. So that was good. We had direct attribution. And then from an MMM perspective, the month of the clip shop, because the activation wasn't just the clip shop, right? We had pre-launch, launch, and then post-launch content. The impact on MMM, so that mixed marketing model was astronomical for that month. So we still have to dive a bit deeper, but it was like over 85,000 monthly recurring revenue for that specific month only on LinkedIn. So which tells you like, okay, Clipshop played a role. How big of a role? We don't know yet, but it played a huge role in LinkedIn from the organic side. So that's 2. And then the third thing is from a brand building perspective, it was amazing because we had people in the comments saying, holy crap, is this real? Like, can I come to this physically and try out the tool? And we were like, that's actually a great idea. Next time we'll extend it like a week and invite people from the outside, but it obviously wasn't available. And then we had people still bringing it up like 2 months down the line, right? Like of like, oh my God, Clip Shop, is that thing like still happening? Are you guys like traveling around with that? And I was like, no, but that also is another good idea. We should do that. So yeah, a lot of impact I think on brand building. If anything, that I think that's the sweetest part is the brand side.
Oh wow. So you spinballed a creator moment
Mhm.
into a larger one where at any given moment you could probably pop up with a van and do this in real life
Exactly.
through your general customers.
Exactly. Exactly.
Talk about cultural
Because think
experience.
about it, like you know those little tuk tuk car things, like the small ones. Imagine that
Yeah,
in like Clip Shop blue, red branding on the side, and then you just pop around with like a really nice Mac in the back, and you're giving out chips, and you're having people try out the clips. So like I already can picture it, and we need to do it. Like I need to put aside budget and make this happen because I know it hit.
You do it, we'll live stream it.
Perfect,
Oh,
perfect.
that is absolutely incredible. That I'm honestly flabbergasted. Like I didn't realize it was to that extent. We had this conversation, but like I didn't realize the size and then the impact that
Yeah,
it would have.
yeah.
Jeez Louise, creators really are coming in clutch today. Like they do things different. They are part of the marketing campaign, and the core of Veed is how I see it.
Yeah,
And
super important for us, super important.
how important is it that you have these authentic relationships rather than these transactional ones?
It's super important. So for us, we're not a huge brand, right? We don't have $1 million in creator budget to spend per quarter. We have a relatively small budget. It's a little bigger now, but at the time, like when the first creator program came into conception, I think we're in V2 now. That's what I would call it. We didn't have a ton of budget, so we had to do the other side of things, which is build relationships with creators. So one, you get a better rate. That's number one. Two, I think authentic relationships lead to better content from the creator side. And then three, it might not work with the creator right now, but 6 months down the line, I want to be top of mind for Sophie Miller, or I want to be top of mind for Grace Andrews. You know what I mean? So for us, it's like the relationship side, the transactional side needs to happen, right? You can't avoid that. You need to pay a creator, they should be paid, and we pay fairly. But the relationship side, brands, not all brands, but some brands don't do it, right? It's like, hey, I want this, we need distro on this, we pay you for this. For us, it's like, no, we're going to make this relationship because down the line, someone's going to come in the comment section to Pretty Little Marketer and say, what video editor do you suggest? And I want Sophie Miller and Pretty Little Marketer to be like, Veed, because I worked with them and they're amazing and I'm still working with them. That is the money right there. That to me is, you can't put a price on that.
Within all of that role, where does the role of like the content director come in? Like sitting from the perch
Mm.
that you are and interacting with the creators, how does that work?
Yeah, I think from a content perspective, I think content directors are super important within like a larger social team slash marketing mix, right? Like if you're a smaller team, you don't have a director of content. That's not even my title, but I do direct content from a social perspective. I think content is the engine of the modern marketing mix, right? Like we create content for social, but we create content for the entire business. So how I see my role play in is I'm not necessarily here to stop creators from creating content. I'm not here to stop like creativity on my team. I'm here to guide creativity and I'm here to ensure that the content that we're creating from the creator side and from the brand side hits all the criteria that we're looking for from like a strategy perspective, from a look and feel perspective, and from a messaging perspective. I think now in that modern marketing mix, my role is just to make sure that everything that gets published, everything that's created on our end, and everything from the creator side aligns with the business and aligns with the look and feel. So to answer your question, I think it's super important, especially as you expand your footprint with content, to make sure that you have this person to kind of be the guardrails rather than the control, if that makes sense.
Do you see content as always on now, or is it something that plays a part in different moments? Or yeah, do you see content as as always on?
Yeah, content is always on. I think content for us, it's like we work in a series format at Veed, and I've always done it every single place that I've worked at. Well, the teams that I've owned,
Why
basically,
is that?
because for us, series content is really easy to scale. Number one, and two, from a series format, when you're creating content, it's much easier to distill or to break down a topic. Let's call it scripting. To do one video on scripting, it's very hard to get everything that you need to get within 60 seconds and be helpful to the user. I can very easily give you a 3 part series on scripting that breaks down the importance of scripting, how to script your video, and then how to bring your script to life. So you add a little more depth to the topic itself. And the beautiful thing about series content is, okay, episode 2 of the scripting series, the one where we're teaching you how to write the script, that one did really well, did better than part 1 and part 3. Let's expand on part 2. Let's make a part 4 that expands on part 2, or let's make an additional series that expands on the the process of writing a script. So it's much easier to one, build repeatable formats, to scale content, and then two, it's much easier to digest from a consumer perspective or from a user perspective on social.
Insane. Brian, this has been an absolute pleasure. I need to sort out these issues so that we can get you on again and we can do this in a much deeper dive. My friend, this has been a pleasure. Hopefully, we get to live stream from Veed one day, or Veed brings in some live streaming features. We never
We'd love
know.
to do it.
You guys ship product faster than anyone. Thank you so much for your time, my friend. I'm looking forward to seeing you
Thank
again.
you. Have a good one. Thanks for having me on.